I celebrated on my way home with a plate of chicken McNuggets on the way home. That was my celebration. That was nice. We stopped by McDonald's and had ourselves a good time.
Chicken
We've been doing this
McNuggets.
for 22 years. Ryan Vargas, nobody has told us that they celebrated with a plate of chicken McNuggets. There's a first for everything.
Freak Nation, his name is Ryan Vargas, joining us here in the Freak Nation, Lucas Oil Studios. Little did we know that we have a hell of a long history. Wonder what the hell it took us so long to get in the Freak Nation. His name is Ryan Vargas again, running in the Xfinity Series, specifically in Las Vegas this weekend. And we were talking a little bit of history with Ryan Vargas in Southern California. Statman spent 426 years there. I spent about 300, Crash about 20.
Yeah.
So we've got a history there, buddy. But when we started Speed Freaks, you weren't even a thought in your mom's brain at the time, buddy.
He was.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you guys started the show 3 months before I was born. So it's a pleasure to be on here. Obviously, you guys have been around for a while, so thank you.
So how does a dude that's running an Xfinity Series full-time now, start from little bandoleros there in Irwindale in Southern California, end up in the Xfinity Series? It sounds like you paid some dues.
Yeah, I mean, you have to in this series. As everybody knows, racing is not a cheap sport to be in. My mom's a kindergarten teacher, well, now first grade teacher. My dad's a construction worker. So we kind of spent a lot of our early days in racing trying to just find ways to get our footing. We started bandolero cars, moved up to street stocks, then late models, and in late 2017, I remember my parents sat me down and said, after 2017, we'd be done racing because we just couldn't do it anymore. And then, fortunately, I was picked up to race alongside of the NASCAR Driver Diversity program. Ran a year with Rev Racing, and then throughout that, once that fizzled out, I moved on into the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Made my debut for Johnny Davis and JD Motorsports. So, although it was on a part-time basis starting in 2019. It feels really cool to have been a part of this organization for a couple of years now.
Well, you've had your share of championships and big race wins in regional coverage. Are you in a position now financially and your headspace to where you can actually compete for a championship or at least be a top 10 contender with Xfinity or moving up?
Absolutely. I mean, I think I can. Our team, JD Motorsports, we're a smaller family-run organization. So, I mean, we're no Junior Motorsports or RCR or any of those big teams or Gibbs. But, whenever we have the right funding behind us, we can go out there and perform very well. Most recently, we had Swann Security on the car at Daytona and Fontana. Daytona, we qualified third in the first round and then eighth in the second round. So that just goes to show, what happens when we have help. We had TikTok sponsor us in 2020. I finished 8th at Texas, and so for us, a top 10 is like winning. We celebrated that day, so it was just a heck of an opportunity.
Hold on, I got to go back to the dates. Hold on.
Crash.
Okay.
On purpose. You can't drop that on the table. Ryan Vargas, Xfinity driver, you celebrated. You got to give us some clues to how you celebrated, whether or not you were coherent the next morning.
See, that's the thing. I was going back in my mind to dates. I'm like, okay, was he of legal age when he got that 8th place in Texas?
I celebrated on my way home with a plate of chicken McNuggets on the way home. That was my celebration. That was nice. We stopped by McDonald's and had ourselves a good time.
Chicken
We've been doing this for 22 years. Ryan Vargas, nobody has told us that they celebrated with a plate of chicken McNuggets. There's a first for everything.
I mean, that was the first thing I wanted when I got out of the car. We took a charter flight into that race. So once we got done with the race, we hopped on the plane. We unloaded in Statesville, hopped in my car, went by McDonald's, and that was me saying, like, man, I got a top 10 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. This is awesome.
Did you tell them that in the drive-thru when you picked up your McNuggets?
No, I don't think they would have even known what I was talking about.
Well, I bet you splurged and got an extra, extra large Diet Coke, didn't you?
I'm a big Dr. Pepper guy. I had myself a nice
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper,
Yeah.
barbecue, the tangy barbecue, some fries. I even got a cheeseburger on the side because I was feeling adventurous.
On the side.
Jeez.
Wow. That's my
Well,
guy.
yeah.
That's why I like you, Ryan. Dr. Pepper, you can't find it. That's one of the major food groups, an extra large.
It's like the second tier on the pyramid. It's
Exactly.
it's the different flavors.
Exactly.
All right, so there are plenty of McDonald's in Las Vegas, but there's also, as you are well aware, In-N-Out burgers. Is McDonald's your burger chain of choice, or do you have another partial favorite?
I don't have really much of a partial favorite. I mean, I would definitely say In-N-Out just from growing up out there. I had myself a double protein style the other day, so that was nice. So animal fries. It's a well-rounded establishment right there.
Yeah, I could do.
Waffle House, you got to learn a new language to order from In-N-Out.
That's why I tell everybody. I was about to square up on Anthony Alfredo on the driver intro stage because he was saying he didn't know, like he said it was bad, and then I was like, "What did you order?" And he said just a cheeseburger, and I was like, "Man, man, you ordered wrong. Ordered wrong."
Is he? Whoa! So was that his first time ever at an In-N-Out?
I think he said it was. I think so.
Ooh, yeah. You need to be schooling him. I mean,
Yeah.
that's your
He's a
stomping
Connecticut
grounds.
guy, so
Yeah, true. Statman, a little different from the baked potatoes at Irwindale Speedway?
Oh, yeah. No, the baked potato at Irwindale, I used to go out there for dinner and watch Ryan race from the media center. But did you ever sneak out of the pits and go get one of those baked potatoes?
I definitely had a handful in my lifetime. My buddy Nico, that's his mom, Margie. Her potatoes are really, really good. If anybody goes to Irwindale, they're a staple.
Yeah. Come on, you got to give us. Did you get them all loaded up with everything, or did you have a special way to get them?
Nah, honestly, it's been so long. I can't remember exactly what I would say, but I just got whatever I felt like having.
Wow, Ryan Vargas, man, it's really good to see you, dude. I remember you were so young. You used to come to the media center to talk to the reporters there, and you had to get passage. You had to make sure you bought your driver's license because you weren't old enough to come up in the elevator. Didn't look at it.
Yeah, I remember the elevator people always had to like ask for my like stuff, and I'm like, I literally just got done racing. I was just out there.
Food connects everybody in the world, and right now that's what we're doing in this interview as people get to know you, Ryan Vargas. But have you been to Martinsville and had a Martinsville hot dog? What is one of the most random food things that you've had at a racetrack?
Random food things I've had at a racetrack. I fell in love with fried pickles last year. Fried pickles are good. I had a bologna burger at South Boston Speedway. I've had plenty of Martinsville hot dogs.
You don't call them Martinsville hot dogs, though. There's a name for them.
No, don't you dare dare go there, Kenny.
I was going to let him do it, man.
I don't know the specific names. What is?
It's all right. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, it's a rocket. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
It's a rocket.
There you go. Bam.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're proud partners with Swann Security. You want to keep that partnership, buddy.
And when you go to Martinsville this year and you have your Swann Security all around your motorhome, make sure that you turn it off so that they don't see you going to get those hot dogs.
Yeah. No, my diet's great, guys. No worries.
Jeez, man. Hey, we've got a very good friend in the Xfinity Series. He's been coming in here when he was running in the kart series, winning 3 or 4 races in a row, and that's A.J. Allmendinger. We'd have no problem. Don't take him out, but leave him a special little Irwindale donut on the side of his Colleague Racing Xfinity car. It wouldn't hurt.
Irwindale, man, you'd get more than donuts when I was racing late models there. I remember me and my buddy Lawless Allen, we knocked the doors off each other racing for $5,000. He ended up wrecking. It was fun.
Lawless Allen. That man, these
There's
names
another
are
name, yes.
from from the past. I remember all those guys. You know, Lawless
It was
Allen.
fun.
And
It was. I mean,
who was the guy that they always raced in the blue cars and their numbers were in the 50s? It was
oh, Huddleston.
Huddleston. Yeah, they owned the track for a while.
Yeah, they still do. But no, Irwindale, that place has taught me a lot about how I need to drive these stock cars. Like I know it sounds funny, but the way you drive Irwindale in the late model cars there, they run 604 crate motors. Obviously, you have to learn a lot about how to keep momentum up and run different lanes. That helped me out a lot when I went to these bigger tracks like the 1.5 miles and stuff. I mean, I remember under Green Flag Run, I actually compared Fontana to Irwindale. Obviously, there's plenty of differences, but I kind of went into it with the same attack style, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and when you come out of turn 4 to the green flag, the secret was to come down the incline, come down the banking, and you're coming downhill, and the driver on the inside would always catch the pole sitter unaware when he'd come around there.
Oh yeah, it was kind of like how brave were you on restarts? I remember I took the inside on restarts for a very long time until it bit me racing Sean Woodside. Yeah, he snookered me really well on a restart. He got me really good. But I mean, it's just really about how brave you are. I remember I started third on a start there, and by the exit of turn 2, I was clear for the lead. That's just how wide that racetrack gets. You could just dive it to the inside, and if it sticks, you can make it work.
If it
You
sticks.
talk about
Famous
if it
last
sticks.
words.
You talk about bravery. Where did this whole Jones for Motorsports come from? Because you said your mom is a teacher, your dad's in construction. Do you have a motorsport lineage, or did you just start going to Irwindale or one of the other tracks, Paris Auto Speedway in Southern California, and just fall in love with it?
So I grew up, I did not like sports. I cannot sit and watch baseball or basketball or football. I played it. I played every sport. I played the same position in every single sport, whether it be baseball, basketball, football. They do have the same position. That was bench. I was horrible. I cannot throw, cannot catch. It's just bad. And I was bored. I was bored out of my mind doing it. But I always found myself waking up, like setting alarms at like 5 a.m. to watch sports car racing or monster trucks, or off-road racing. Lucas Oil on the Edge, that was another one that I loved. NASCAR, practice, and all that stuff on Speed Channel. I used to watch all that stuff. My dad took me to Fontana and Irwindale growing up, and that's where I kind of fell in love with the sport. And I remember one day in 2010, it was either 2009 or 2010 when we went to Irwindale, and I saw one of the like recess aides from my elementary school, and she was there, and I was like, "What are you doing here?" And she says, "Well, my son races. We're actually trying to sell the car." And then my eyes immediately gravitated to my parents. And luckily, the car, like Bandolero Racing, it's a generally very affordable racing series that I highly recommend any family who's trying to get into racing they get into. It helped me really get my start, and from there, once I sat in that race car, the rest is history.
We'll get back to the video interview in just a moment, but with high gas prices holding steady, it might be time for you to check out Lucas Oil Fuel Treatment and Injector Cleaner. It's a blend of oils and additives that contain no solvents. It increases power and fuel mileage that keeps your engine operating at maximum efficiency. Are you kidding me? It's like a tune-up in a bottle. Just add it to every fill-up of that snappy car of yours. And of course, it's as simple as... You get it. Now, back to the interview.
You are an amazing story because not only are you a likable personality, but you are the embodiment of what race fans as kids typically want to do. I mean, just work hard and find the opportunity and boom, go through all the series. And look at you, you're in Xfinity now. It's amazing. It's so cool.
Thank you. And I mean, I never thought I'd make it to this point. I mean, like I said, in 2017, we were supposed to be done racing. It's no shortage to a lot of people who have believed in me all along the way. I mean, in 2018, I lost my K&N ride, and I mean, that's, just business is business. You know what I mean? There's no bad thing there at all. There was no ill fallout. It was just the team went from a 3-car operation to a 2-car operation, and I was just kind of left on the outs. So I spent, the time between November of 2018 to February of 2019 not knowing what I was going to do in racing. I had no sponsorship, no ride, no actual plan as to where I was going to be. So once that fell apart, I really had no business being out there anymore. And I remember I landed a sponsor through late model racing. We got all of our late model racing taken care of, which was an amazing opportunity. And because of that, we were able to kind of we were able to make that jump into the Xfinity car. And I remember that first start at Iowa in 2019, that was me going out there, and I told myself, if I go out there and run last or wreck or do something stupid, I don't belong in this sport and I need to go home. If I go out there and just have a clean day and do my job, then, maybe there's something there. Well, we went there. I qualified, I believe, the first of the 4 JD cars, and we ended up running inside the top 15, top 20, finished 17th, which a top 20 for our organization is a good day.
Wow. And the rest is history.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. And I mean, I remember Johnny coming on the radio, Johnny Davis, the team owner. He told me, he said, you've done good. You have a long place in this sport. And that was kind of like the validation of me just saying okay.
And Iowa is not you got to really know what you're doing, because it's not banked. You can't just dive into a corner. You have to drive at Iowa, and it sounds like you handled yourself rather well.
Yeah, Iowa's a very fun racetrack. It is by far the most fun racetrack I've ever raced at, plain and simple. It is a multi-groove 7/8 mile oval. It drives like an intermediate, but it's a short track nonetheless. Especially in these Xfinity cars, how much power we have, how much weight we have to lug around with these cars. You have to really drive with finesse. And I mean, I kind of go back to what I learned. I kind of learned about that from racing Irwindale, but also racing street stocks at the bull ring across the street here from the Speedway. Street stocks, they're heavy, underpowered for that relative size racetrack, and that taught me everything I need to know. Not everything, but it taught me a lot about what I needed to know going into this stuff.
Well, your last name isn't Kardashian or Jenner, but you were sponsored by TikTok. How in the hell did you work that in your repertoire?
Yeah, that was a fun one. It really started off as a tweet. My buddy Ryan Pastano, who's a very talented graphic designer, has designed paint schemes for myself, many other drivers. I remember telling him back in 2019 how much I loved TikTok, how much I used it. At the time, it was becoming my biggest platform. I think I had like 20-something thousand followers on there. Nothing crazy. And all of a sudden, he puts a tweet out there saying, imagine if, TikTok sponsored the TikTok driver. Because at the time, I was one of the highest followed drivers and still am, but just much less. And I guess through it being shared and people talking about it, it ended up getting to the people at TikTok US. And they saw that, and it was kind of like, why not? And through word of mouth, we were able to get in contact. And mind you, I don't have a marketing team. I don't have an agent. I'm not a part of a marketing group. I'm not represented by anybody. So you have myself, the head of global marketing, head of sports marketing, head of digital, and there was other people in and out through this whole thing. And then you have me. And that was a little intimidating, but we landed the deal. It went from being a 1-race deal to a 6-race deal. And that really set the tone for basically the rest of my career. It showed that I was very determined, and it showed that I was serious about this. A lot of people looked at it and was like, okay, why is TikTok sponsoring Ryan Vargas? Why is TikTok sponsoring JD Motorsports? Well, I told you guys how big of a fan I was of racing. I mean, I grew up watching this team. I grew up watching JD Motorsports. And I remember watching the red cars and getting excited when those red cars would do good. So when I brought TikTok to NASCAR, I got a lot of people excited about that little red team. And that was what made me very excited about it. And that was also during the same year, during 2020. Obviously, we were under different protocols in NASCAR. I was a crew member on Jeffrey Earnhardt's car and BJ McLeod's car during the season when I wasn't racing. So there was no second thought on where I wanted to go. And that was a great opportunity right there.
Well, frankly, you don't make it until you're one of the celebrities on your town's wiki page, and on La Mirada's wiki page, buddy, you're one of the celebrities, so congratulations there.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And, I mean, that whole thing just blew it up. And, I mean, it's funny because I was talking to different people from different – I've had probably 7 or 8 meetings this week. And one of the things they were talking about was influencer versus athlete. And they said you kind of blend the line because – while I'm an athlete, but I'm also very active on social. I mean, I talked about how my TikTok when I started the TikTok campaign was at 20 or 30K followers. Now it's at 411,000.
Nice.
And and those are all potential race fans that have never seen a race.
Yes.
And I think that's the most important thing of all.
I've seen on your social media, you identify yourself as a content creator, and some of the stuff that you've created, it's pretty cool to see things that are, very basic. And it's just, you are an influencer, and congratulations on that. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing that comes to mind? I got to come up with something for TikTok?
No, my first thing that comes to my mind is I need to find tire money. I need to find sponsorship. That is my first worry. So, I mean, my day normally goes one of two ways. I either wake up and go straight to the shop and, do whatever I can there, whether it be working on the car, helping with marketing, doing meetings, or doing whatever, or I stay home and just do all of that from my desk. So my work week is really most of the time 6 days a week, most of the time 7.
This has been awesome, buddy.
Yeah, we need to do more of this.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you guys making time.
Absolutely.
Great to see you away from Irwindale,
right,
dude. As soon as it hit me, it's like, wait a minute. I used to watch that guy on Saturday nights. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Ryan, good luck to you, buddy, for the rest of the year. And hopefully this will lead on to even bigger and better things for you, buddy.
Sounds good. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.